Hello students, today's topic different concepts of species. Species are generally recognized by phenetic characters. Evolutionary biologists have come forward with various concepts of species. The first distinction among species concept is between horizontal and vertical concepts. In horizontal species concept, species are defined with respect to a particular time, while in vertical species concept, it defines species over a period of time, as shown in the adjacent figure. Species are formed from ancestral population when gene flow barriers occurs between them, followed by natural selection. During the process of speciation, various secondary characters or properties appear with time in these populations. These properties may not appear at the same time or in a regular order. Hence, different species concepts come into conflict. The various species concepts are the phylogenetic species concept, biological species concept, ecological species concept, morphological species concept, genotypic cluster concept. The figure here represents the various species concept and the biological evidence present. The phylogenetic species concept, PSC. According to this concept, species are a group of organisms with a shared ancestor. They are defined as the smallest monophyletic group. It focuses on the evolutionary relationship among the organisms. The advantage of PSC concept is that it can be applied for extinct species also. The biological species concept, or BSC. This describes species as a group of interbreeding individuals that are reproductively isolated from other group of interbreeding individuals. Biologists like Mayer, Dobzhansky, Huxley, Muller advocated the biological species concept. It emphasizes on reproductive isolation. The individuals within a species would have reproductive isolating mechanisms that prevent mating outside the species. They also have species recognition mechanisms that allow recognition between potential mates. The BSC concept explains as to why individuals within a species resemble one another. During reproduction, genes of parents are passed to offspring. With every generation, the genes are shuffled around the species gene pool. The shared gene pool gives species its identity. The main disadvantage of the BSC concept is it can't be applied for asexually reproducing organisms and for certain populations that are physically separated with each other and does not have an opportunity to breed naturally. It also cannot be applied for fossil species. The ecological species concept, ESC. According to this concept, a species is a group of phenetically similar organisms that occupy a given ecological niche. This concept emphasizes on adaptation and natural selection. The ecological force of competitive exclusion maintains species difference. Only species that are sufficiently different can coexist. This particular concept acknowledges the role of environment in controlling morphological development. Example, in case of Darwin finches, the beak pattern is the adaptation of the finches to the food the present in the particular island they inhabited. The major disadvantage of ESC concept is that it is very difficult to demarcate a niche, and in many cases the niche overlap. Many organisms exploit overlapping resources. In certain cases, it may miss cryptic species. These are species that are morphologically identical to each other, but they belong to different species. The evolutionary species concept, ESC. It was proposed by Simpson. According to this concept, species are a evolving lineage which evolved separately from others and with its own unitary evolutionary role and tendencies. It is in this concept the cladogenesis and analgenesis concept of speciation comes. The morphological or the typological species concept, TSC. According to this concept, species are a group of individuals that are morphologically similar. They can easily be distinguished from individuals of another species. This concept emphasizes on the morphology of the organism, be it the body size, shape, and other structural features. This particular concept of species identification is widely used by people in general. The main disadvantage of this concept is there could be polymorphisms within the population and variation among population. This does not take into account the sibling and the cryptic species. Sibling species are species that differ reproductively but not morphologically. The recognition species concept. This was proposed by Patterson. According to this concept, individuals in a species have specific mate recognition systems, SMRS, that helps to recognize potential mates. The cohesion species concept, CSC. This concept was proposed by Alan Templeton in 1989. It integrates the positives of the biological species concept, the ecological species concept, and the recognition species concept, and avoids all their disadvantages. According to this concept, the species are defined as the most inclusive population of organisms having the potential for cohesion through intrinsic cohesive mechanisms. It includes two mechanisms, the genetic cohesive mechanism and the ecological cohesive mechanism. It includes the genetic changes occurring in a population due to gene flow, genetic drift, and natural selection. The genetic species concept, GSC. This was proposed by Bateson. According to this, species are a group of genetically compatible organisms that can interbreed among themselves, but are genetically isolated from other groups. The table here outlines the various species concept which we have already discussed. Thank you.